All right, hi y'all. So I'm actually here to do my labor and delivery story. If you hear like a swooshing, the baby Polly is over in the mama room. So she's just mama rooing away. So welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I am now a mother of 3. I have a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a newborn. So she's 2 weeks old as of yesterday, and oh, she's just so sugary. I figured I would come at you today and share with you my labor and delivery story. I've gotten a few comments and a few messages asking how it went, what happened, and so here I am to tell you what went down. If you have been following me for the last 5 years, you will know that I was induced with all 3 of my children. So all 3 of my children were induced at 39 weeks. With Nash, I was induced early due to him measuring very large, and the concern was that if I wasn't induced, then he could get stuck. With Archie, I had a very precipitous labor, and what that means is that I labored very quickly. So by the time that she broke my water, I had him about 35 to 45 minutes after that. So with this pregnancy, I had a lot of prodromal labor and early labor. I was progressing on my own, and my doctor was concerned that if my water broke at home, I would not make it to the hospital due to my precipitous labor. She had us go in at 39 weeks and be induced with Polly, and we went in at 8:30 a.m. Well, we got there at like 7:30 a.m. and then we got into our room by 8, and then by 8:30 we were beginning the steps to induction. Nash I had taken Cervidil, I think that's how you say it, to get my cervix moving. With Archie and Polly, my cervix was already dilating, and my cervix was softening, and everything was happening on its own. So we went right into Pitocin with both of those inductions. I call them clicks because that's just what my nurses always call them. But you get like 2 cc's every 30 minutes. I want to say that's what it was. Might have been every hour. I can't remember. But you get 2 cc's of Pitocin. If you've ever had Pitocin contractions, they are like contractions on steroids. Super uncomfortable, but luckily for me, once I start contracting regularly, active labor is gonna commence at any moment. And then once you break my water, it's go time. So I wanna say I got up to 6 cc's with Polly. So we started Pitocin at 8:30-ish, 8:45. And then at that time, my contractions were about 3 minutes apart, just 3 minutes apart, very intense contractions. And that was only like on 2 cc's. Look at my chart. So contractions are about 3 minutes apart, pretty big. She's doing good. Definitely feeling them though. Sean's updating everyone. So I think we're close. Well, not like close, but you know, getting there. Crazy. Then we upped it to 4, and they came every 1 to 2 minutes, and they were very intense. We got up to 6, and then I remember my doctor came in to check me. At this time, it was about, I think it was like 11 o'clock, and I had been on the Pitocin since about 8:45, and I had progressed to a 5. I think I was a 5 or 6, between 5 and 6, something like that. Now with Archie, I was dilated to a 5 or 6, so we thought we had a lot of time. She broke my water, and then he came while I was trying to get an epidural. So with this time, we were like, let's get an epidural before she breaks my water, because it happens super fast after that. My doctor was only gonna be at the hospital until 1. So I was really trying to have her before she left the hospital, because she didn't even get to deliver Archie because it was so fast. And so I really wanted her to get to deliver Polly, and she really wanted to deliver her. 11:45, he came in to do the epidural. I was having major contractions at this time. They were less than a minute apart, and they were intense. I was kind of thinking, this is playing out exactly like Archie's labor, and then I'll be numb after I give birth. if you remember, one side of me with Archie's labor, and I'll link his labor delivery story, one side of me, I can't remember whether it was left or right, went numb and one did not. So, and even the one that went numb, it wasn't totally numb. It was like I could feel everything. The only thing that went numb was like my leg. So I could feel the entire labor. It was not at all an epidural labor. I had one of those with Nash, totally different experience. This time around, I had gotten my epidural and I was contracting throughout it. Okay, well, at least we've gotten through the epidural. We're good to go. He did the epidural and I was thinking, okay, it's working, because I was feeling that it was working on my right side. Yeah, on my right side this time. And my leg was feeling numb. I felt like, okay, I think we're good. You know, I don't ever like to have too much, because I like to feel it. Like with Nash's, I felt everything. It just didn't hurt. With Archie, hurt a lot. I noticed that she moved herself up. Like if you remember all my pregnancy updates, she went low quick, like around 34 weeks, which is when I started having the prodromal labor and then the early labor. She scooted herself up like she was right under my chest. Like she had balled herself up right under my chest. So the doctor at this point, this is right when she came in to break my water after I had the epidural. You know, we were thinking that I was gonna be pretty comfortable, you know, pretty numb for the breaking of the water. No, felt everything. It was so uncomfortable because my membrane was so high apparently. Like it was really high. She was really high. And so it was like, what is happening? Had never hurt that bad the previous times. And so my doctor started to explain to me that because she had moved up really far, that, you know, we're really hoping that she will drop and we'll be able to position her in a way that she will come out comfortably, or as comfortable as it can be. Also to prepare myself in case she doesn't drop again, because we were confused as to why she had moved herself up and not the opposite direction. And so, you know, she just prepared me for, you know, a possibility of a C-section if she did not drop, because we had broken my water at this point. You know, just trying to prepare me. She also said, you know, I gotta leave in an hour, but they'll call me if you start to go into labor and I'll try to get back over here. At this point, I'm thinking, oh my God, I have like completely digressed and she's moved really far up, and, you know, hoping that everything was gonna be okay. And I remember saying to Sean, like, I just shouldn't have even gotten an epidural. Like, and he was like, Stephanie, you just had the epidural. Like, that did nothing. It's just that your body is reacting in this way. It's okay, you know, and we'll get through it. I remember I was gonna try to take a nap at this time, but I noticed that my left side was not numbing at all. The same exact thing that happened with Archie was happening again. So I kept feeling all of the contractions on one side of my uterus, because the other side I wasn't feeling the pain. I could feel the contraction, but I wasn't feeling the pain. But I was feeling it all on the left side. So that was super strange and weird, but it was exactly what I felt with Archie. So I remember feeling like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And we had tilted me over, we had me on the ball, like, you know, tried everything to try to move the epidural to that side of my body. So the anesthesiologist was gonna come back in and redo my epidural if I was still feeling it on that side. And at this point I was like, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be soon that I'm gonna deliver, because I kept feeling the same way I did with Archie. And I was like, so I'm not about to go through another epidural where he like tries to redo it. And honestly, I was kind of like, it's probably not even gonna work. So let's just do this, you know? At this point, I just kind of like stopped pressing the button on the epidural, because I was like, this is just gonna make me numb on one side, and that feels really weird. And so I just kind of, you know, dealt. So about 20 minutes after that, it was about 12:30 at this time. We had turned off all the lights, and I was gonna try to take a nap. My nurse was like, it's gonna be a while because you were only at a 5. At this point, we were gonna take a rest. Well, I started to feel like I needed to poop. And that's the same sensation I had with both Nash and Archie. And I was feeling so many contractions, and I just was like, I'm gonna poop, so I'm gonna have a baby. Like I just said, so I grabbed the side of the bed and I said to Sean, get the nurse, because I'm about to push. So we call the nurse. another nurse comes in. She was like, well, I'll just check her. So she went and got my nurse because she was eating, and which she needed to, like it was lunch. And she was like, no, don't even check her because I know she's right. She's right. She's about to have her baby. Like it's gonna be time. So she comes back in, and I'm like I literally closed my eyes. I don't even think I opened my eyes until she was born, because I literally just went to another place. The feeling I was having was just like, it was so much more intense even than Archie. And I was like, just had to remember to breathe. And I had to remember that my pain is only as much as I'll warrant it to be. And that's what I kept telling myself. And I was like, it's all for the greater good. She's coming, she's coming, she's coming. And I kept like envisioning her dropping, and then like where she was at in my body, and how I needed to help her push to a new place so that she could meet me. And I don't want to get emotional. Really, it was an incredible experience because I could feel her. She was so high up, and I just kept talking to her, like in my mind, like, come on, baby girl, like, I just need you to come down a little bit more. And I remember they went and they got the nurse, went and got my doctor. My doctor was going in the elevator to leave because it was like 1 o'clock at this time, and she was leaving and she ran back up. And then my nurse was like, let's just do one practice push to see where she's at. I did my practice push and she was coming out of me. So my doctor came in, and she thought I was gonna have to push a lot because of how high up she was. And so then she was like, okay, yeah, let me put on my gloves. And then I think I got through like one more push, maybe 1.5 more pushes, and then she was out. It's just on me, and it was a beautiful, beautiful experience. And it was hard. It hurt. It was really hard, but it was also really incredible because I could feel everything. Like I could feel her drop, and she literally like just went from really high up just out of me. It was insane. She just kind of like jetted out of there. So it was an incredible experience, and we're just so blessed with her, and we are so happy to have her. And oh, it was just incredible. It was an incredible last pregnancy and birth. So she is our little muffin, and she's still sleeping, and I think the boys have just arrived. So that is my labor and delivery story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, it was just so incredible. We just feel so blessed. We feel complete. We feel like our family is complete now. Thank you for following on our journey with us, and always just an adventure in my labors. And you can plan so much, but at the end of the day, it's just not up to you. It's gonna happen exactly how it's supposed to happen and how God intended it to happen, no matter if it's a C-section or natural labor or, you know, whatever. So we'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.